Okay, so that was a lot of information, so let's do a quick review. Once the visual information from your eyes reaches the back of the brain, it's processed in two pathways, the ventral and the dorsal. The ventral pathway is called the what pathway, and it identifies objects. In this pathway, information flows from area V1 to V2 to V4 to IT. The receptive field size and complexity of information being processed increases as you step through each of these areas. Lesions in V1 or V2, called scotomas, cause localized blind spots. But lesions in IT have more complicated effects called agnosias, or problems with object recognition. An example is prosopagnosia, or face blindness. Now, let's review the dorsal pathway. The dorsal pathway is often called the where or how pathway and identifies where an object is in space and how we might interact with it. Some areas of interest in the dorsal pathway are MT, which detects direction of motion, and PPA, which is responsible for spatial attention. Lesions in both of these areas can have complicated effects. In MT, lesions result in akinetopsia, or the inability to detect motion. Affected patients see the world as a series of snapshots. In PPA, a unilateral lesion causes visual neglect, where the patient does not perceive part of the world. Bilateral lesions in PPA cause Balint syndrome. One symptom of Balint syndrome, simultagnosia, causes the patient to see the world one piece at a time, rather than as a cohesive whole. For example, a patient might see a refrigerator or a stove, but cannot direct attention to both at the same time and cannot see the kitchen as a whole. So we've seen how pieces of visual information are sent to different places in the brain for processing, and how damage to the brain can consequently alter perception. But now that that information about what and how and where is scattered between the dorsal and ventral pathways, how do we get it all back together so we can interpret a scene?